guys know it is Drunken Chat, son.
Welcome once again, everybody. I'm your host, Chet Degrees of Cornbread on It's Drunken Chat Son, hosted by the Comic Crusaders Network. Thank you for stopping by and invite. We are doing this quite early because, look, I'm tired, and maybe the guys will be around later on. Maybe we'll do a secondary show later on so we can just get together and we can chat about a lot of stuff that's been happening within the last couple of weeks. But I wanted to just get this off so we don't have to do another 4 to 5 hour show and getting rushed. I want us to be able to take time and take about the stuff that actually freaking matters. But here we are once again, and I just wanted to make sure that we get into some of this other cold stuff, which we could talk about later. But um, you guys know I've been talking about companies like IDW for a while. They dropped actually down to like 15 cents at one point. From they were, in fact, they were kind of fluctuating between 15 cents and 50 cents. I think at one point this year they actually went up to $1 or something like that. It was crazy, but uh, they just went up to $70 only because they did a reverse stock split. Um, so if you had 100, you were going to get $70 for it. Unfortunately, like right after that, all their freaking people just freaking went ahead and freaking sold. So now it's down to 44. Um, and what I can say is with the evaluations, with what everybody's looking at, what will probably happen is it'll go bit down a little bit more until they see some improvements, until people start seeing them just bleeding money. So I could probably see like 15 to 25 in the near future for the stock. But it is good to see at least they're staying freaking active. Da, da, da. And then of course, actually let's go to this one first before we get into the big stuff. Look, freaking Marvel Rivals, right? That was kind of freaking funny. They just dropped season 3.0. For those that don't know, Marvel Rivals is a game that people have been playing. Marvel hasn't even been promoting it by doing some of these covers. So they just introduced season 3.0 where they've got Hela being in cahoots with Null. They've got Phoenix coming back, and she's even more powerful than ever. And they've got just a lot of stuff that's going to be happening with this whole deal. Let's see. Fact, yep, here we go. So July 11th, they just dropped the new season 3.0 with the whole Null thing. Phoenix, they also dropped a new battle pass, which is where you get a whole bunch of new skins associated with Null. Um, and the Milano Repair Logs, which is a new event and a free costume, which is new challenges you have to get to do in order to get other new skins and other little free gifts. I also know that if you were a college student, if you sign up, well, yeah, you can sign up for this through this thing. You give them your college email, and then you get some like new skins if you're a college student, which is pretty freaking cool. July 18th, there's supposed to be a new summer party, Marvel Rivals swimsuit, and summer special event, which is kind of interesting because there's skins. Everybody gets that, but then there's like these few powers that each character gets, and through those powers, like they're called alts or ultimatums or alts, whatever, and they've dressed up the alts to kind of have like the summer flavor. So I'll be killing you, but I'm throwing like pineapples and all types of like beach chairs and stuff at you. It's going to be kind of crazy. July 25th, they're going to introduce the Marvel Studios, the Fantastic Four first steps, which is probably going to be uh, more of a team up situation where they're more powerful when you team them up all together. Special team up, and yeah, special team up with Johnny Storm and the Thing. And then August 1st, we're going to have two new characters: Phoenix Demon and a Phoenix Panther, which is once again, just some of those characters, but they're in different freaking suits. Um, Usually, it doesn't mean they're even more powerful, but when they're in those suits and they've got like fire and all this other stuff, it can be quite freaking distracting. So that's something to look out for. And then August 8th, so coming soon, that's going to be season 3.5. Um, and here it's blank, but we know for a fact that what has been announced is supposed to be Blade. Blade is supposed to be on his way into Marvel's Rivals pretty soon, that's going to be freaking interesting. Now, as interesting as that is, I thought what was even more interesting was Fortnite. Um, and let's not freaking put it aside, but just as on the same day that Marvel Rivals decided to announce or have Season 3.0 come out, Fortnite decided to release a skin with Superman and Mr. Terrific, and I forget who else, and like one of the bad villains or villainous is inside Fortnite now. So um, the way Superman is in there is actually quite interesting because it's only like a few people will get access to it. Like so, you'll be fighting off in the scenery. You'll see like a Superman call, and the first person to get to that Superman call gets to be Superman and has Superman powers. So not everybody's going to get access to it. Not everybody's going to be able to reach it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But to stay on the Superman and talk and the way and what we're going to do is now we're going to switch to Superman. Got to see it last night. Good stuff. Good freaking movie. I don't see where the hate was. In fact, I looked at some of the Rotten Tomatoes top critics, and man, they they need to hang it up. They need to go Latinas, man. It's crazy. So right now it's 82% on thermometer, and then a 94% popcorn meter. Um, and I see that most of the hate comes from these so-called top critics just saying any type of thing. Talk about it's too complicated. It doesn't make any freaking sense, or it's going too far away from the lore, or it's too DEI. Like no, I watched it with open eyes, and I was like, no, this is the only thing that kind of got me because it was some of the conversations were a little too long, and I could tell that it was supposed to be interspliced with actual scenes. So yeah, there was this one conversation with that Clark Kent was having with Lois, and you could tell that what they were discussing with it was supposed to stop, and then it was supposed to cut a scene of showing him what happened, and then they were supposed to come back. But instead of doing that, they just let them talk if we can go at it, and it was kind of long. It was like, oh, okay, well, this is more than an establishing shot. This is kind of weird. So that was the only thing that was that didn't quite fit. Everything else made sense. A lot of people didn't like some of the stuff about you know interdimensions and talking monkeys and all that other stuff. And then look, there is a lot of symbolism in there. You just got to take it for what it is. But otherwise, it is a good family movie. My wife loved it. My sons loved it. Freaking good, very good start to this James Gunn's DC universe, man. So with that, I want to try and get set up. So I'm going to play this quick trailer, and then we'll start getting into some of the books that are going to be on FOC this week. This what is it? Monday the 14th. Yep, Monday the 14th. So stand by.
Hey, Radiant Black here, and next month Hold up. Wait, who's that? Wait a second, are we getting a new Yellow? Is this another one of those crazy special issues? Does this one break time? Uh-huh. Oh, it only breaks hearts. Oof. Well, you've been warned. Don't miss a very special issue of Radiant Black, featuring a first appearance of our new Radiant Yellow. Pre-order Radiant Black 36 today with your local comic book store.
Okay, so that's cool. So Radiant Black is still trying to do its thing, and now they've got. In fact, I think what I heard was that there was going to be a new Radiant Yellow. So if you're into that type of thing and first appearances, and you do want to make that type of investment, I would definitely go ahead and try and pick up Radiant Black number 36. I believe that was. All right, so first I'm going to start with some of the worst ones from this week. Coming from DC, some people like it. I don't like it. Um, these action figures because we're going what 3 or 4 years now, and it's the same thing. Nothing has really changed. In fact, I've had people try and buy stuff for me only to realize, oh crap, I'm not buying an actual action figure. I'm buying a freaking comic book of that has a cover of an action figure. So it's very confusing to some folks, and I know a lot of folks that don't like it, other than like cover heads. Then I like Maddox. I like the way that he's trying to do things differently, but I think it's a little overplayed now, maybe because I've been looking at the covers too many times right now. So I think we need to take a little break. Thundercats number 17. It's not terrible art, but it is out there art, and it's fine. But I'm tired of sick of looking at it. Daredevil. There is this weird freaking art. I don't know whether this is J. Scott Campbell maybe or who it is, but it's kind of too dark along the edges. But then you got the light coming from behind, and it doesn't really accentuate anything. It's got the Batman. I want to be a Batman standing on a gargoyle type stuff going on. Didn't really like it. And then here we go with Zesty Daredevil. Once again, yeah, this is definitely the J. Scott Campbell joint, which is like the lighting. I like the little grin, but the way the hips are kind of twisting. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, the way the hips were twisting on that one was kind of a little weird. Yeah, and that one's on FOC this week. Daredevil for the J. Scott Campbell. Then there's the Laura Kinney Wolverine. Not bad, not terrible, but like, look, Sawi, uh, she's a good artist, but we need a little bit more for her, and I don't understand what's going on here. I think that I don't know whether it's because I've seen some of her other stuff that are outside of freaking comics, absolutely freaking good. I'm kind of wondering if her hands are being tied with what's going on. Magic. This is a Bayo Villalobos. Um, Once again, too dark. Don't know what's going on here. I want to see more Magic and less of this guy because I don't know. It feels like you put a lot of effort into something, and I don't know what the vision was here. Too much going on here. Each one of these individually would be amazing. In fact, there's even a crazy one where it looks like there's Magic and she's in the Captain Marvel outfit. That would be absolutely freaking fantastic. But all of them all together, just too much going on for me. I'm tired of these Marvel Treasury editions, the Fantastic Four, these Pavarotis, Marvel 100s. Um, I'm sick of these. Like, okay, this is great. Maybe 50 years ago, that one time, and then they keep going back to the well, and when we don't need to. Spider-Man and Wolverine. This is a Carrie Andrews. Um, she's got her own unique style, and it's great. It's actually good. It's just some things going on with the face here. That's messing up with the muscles. She's once again fantastic artist. Just kind of off-putting to me here. And then Jeff Brown trying to go for the Scotty Young, but he's doing something that actually literally looks like like a 10-year-old freaking drew it. Once again, and this is not it's bad art necessarily. It's just that it's played out because too many artists are going for this freaking look. This one is just terrible. Event Horizon 1, The Dark Descent. Don't know what's supposed to be going on here. Don't know what I'm looking at that I'm supposed to be enticed and hyped to freaking read this book. Um, Same again here. Don't know. This is supposed to be about space demons trying to mess up with a spaceship. Not quite sure. Green Lantern number 5. Looks like what happens when I pour too much soap down my bathtub and it's kind of slowly slinking into the little hole. I don't know what's going on here. And then another action figure variant, Harley Quinn. Let's see, is this our Harley Quinn issue number 1? Yep, Harley Quinn issue number 1. It's supposed to be $5.99 for this one. This one is Batman Harley Quinn. This one was a Alex Ross, right? And there's a foil for it. We've already done this. Literally 2 years ago, they already did this. They did the same exact art, and they did a foil. And I think they actually did one also for one of the Comic Cons. And then here they go again. too much too soon again. I can even understand if like the original was going for like a few $1,000s. It's not. It's not. I think I got mine maybe like a year ago for like $100. So, Cheetah and Cheshire robbed the Justice League. You could tell that the artist that did this is absolutely freaking fantastic, but the vision on this one, I find myself trying to peek behind what's going on in the shield to look at the actual art, and the individual art freaking looks great. It's just too much covered up for me right now. And then another facsimile. This is the Jock Batman Detective Comics number 880. Um, this one's going for $6.99. There's a regular, and then there's a foil version of this one. Guess what? Guess whether or not they already did this one? Yep, they absolutely did. They already did this one. Don't know. Once again, I do like this book. It's been an okay read so far. Don't Run with Scissors. This is going to be issue number 3, $5.99, and don't know what this avant-garde art's trying to tell me, but it doesn't look like it wants me to read it. DC's all in with JSA, issue number 10. Jorge Core. They took a lot of time to put details in it, and not sure what we're going for. I'm not sure if it's going for wraparound or what, but it just doesn't appeal to me. Poison Ivy, issue number 35. I see the vision. I see the vision. The artist is good. The artist is very good, except for I'm wondering if it's the model, maybe, or maybe it's the angle that they were doing the model from. But you got my girl Poison Ivy looking a little buttered up, like she just came from Thanksgiving dinner, like with the giblets and everything. So I'm thinking maybe it's like the angle that he was drawing the model from, because I think that's why a lot of ladies try and like do the camera from like up top, so it doesn't show that. That's the only thing I can think of. But I see the vision. Tired and Trite is the Black Ritual book of NYX. Issue number 4 got the title character hanging from a cross. And that's not the last one that we'll see this week. And that might be the last one for the just absolutely freaking terrible. Let's see. Now let's get to the ugly. Once again, we're doing the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the bad is just terrible stuff. The ugly is not terrible at all. It just may be frightening, scared, or scary. Let's see. Here we go. All right, first up is the Toxic Avengers. Forget who drew this, but it looks kind of crazy. It looks terrible. Then there's this Godzilla versus DC, Ricardo Federici. Great freaking art. I would love a statue of this one, actually. Great freaking angle for Harley. You know, above my dude's shark. Like it. This one looks like it's another horror joint, but by a distillery, the city beneath her feet. And then the Ultimate number 15, Krill going against maybe like a Hulk monster or something like that. Looks kind of crazy. Eddie Brock Carnage, issue number 7. Yeah. Don't know what's going on here, and I hope that's not a Carnage baby. Definitely fighting here again with issue number 7. Eddie Brock Carnage. Got Carnage coming out of Eddie Brock's mouth. Looks like Marvel maybe taking off the cuffs on some of these guys. Letting them go kind of crazy. Yeah, this one too. And then Fantastic Four looks like an old, kind of reminds me of like some of the old retro stuff, right? Like taking it back in the day. Let's see. And then Fantastic Four issue number 2, the Marvel Studios variant. Mm. It looks like a bring on the bad guys. Ricky Lee Bermejo makes for makes the Spider-Man. This one I definitely love. Very terrifying because I talk shit about how, but you got a dude with a red skull and a knife coming at you. That could be absolutely fucking terrifying. Okay. Actually, I didn't even notice that I had comments. Didn't even know I had people in here. Once again, thank you guys for stopping by. Shout out to Derek Neiman, day drinking. Well, here it's 7:57. Good sir. So it is no longer day drinking. I heard people are review bombing with negativity because they're still bitter about the Snyderverse. Well, then, if they're bombing about the Snyder universe, then they should just keep supporting the Snyder universe. There's still Snyder universe stuff still happening, right? You know, go watch, get HBO Max, just watch it over and over again. Just talk about don't bomb this stuff, right? Um, and that Daredevil had the strangest clothes I had ever seen. GTK Comics, yeah, what's going on about bathtub soap scum variant? Yes, that's what I'm gonna call that Green Lantern, the bathtub soap scum variant. Vojo Chris says this feels criminally early. Yes, poison thicky. You know what? If she was even thick, I will let it slide. But it was just like the whole area under here, under the right under the chin. That was kind of freaking crazy. Here we go with Event Horizon Dark Descent, issue number 1. I think this one is, yep, IDW. Now, this one makes it a little bit more clear that there's some demons that are out there in freaking space, and they're either haunting or they're going to try and kill everybody on board. I think maybe this is based on that Event Horizon movie. I would have to check that out. Then this one is definitely freaking terrifying, right? Because you know you're messing around in freaking space. You're afraid that you walk up to a fucking portal, and what's the devil that you were trying to stay away from is coming right through that motherfucker. All right. Now, my introduction to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was always that cartoon. And then later on, find out, oh, yeah, this has been around, and the original was actually quite gory and crazy and quite violent. This one, this cover right here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Journeys, issue number 1. This one's going to be written by Peter Lark. This one reminds me of that history. Definitely. Right? Because I've seen a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle covers that try to get dark. This one definitely pulls it off. And then Cruel Universe. Once again, going back to space, right? And then what we can find out in space. It turns out that on this particular cover, there was a dinosaur that was in space, or they found a fossil. And then there's a black and white version of the dude that looks like he's basically getting drowned in his own suit. And if I'm not mistaken, this one is a 1 in 10. And then this one is just weird, freaky. They made this character, whoever it is, weirdly freaky and everything, but they put makeup on the eye and the lips. Weird. Great freaking cover. Definitely considering the movie that just came out, because all of these characters, except for Mothra, of course, are actually inside of the new movie. So definitely a freaking great call out for this. This one's called Justice League: the Godzilla versus Kong, issue number 3, Monsterverse. And then Orla, issue number 1 by Mad Cave. This one's going to be a great freaking pickup for the read. Mad Cave says he just poured his first drink. Oh, salud, sir. Definitely electing this time because I already knocked out what I have for today. Don't have to worry about competing with anybody else that's doing their podcast right now. And then I don't have to, because look, boxing is going to be on in a little bit, so I get to go ahead, knock this out, and go watch my boxing. So I know it sucks not having the other guys here, but hey. Poison Ivy issue number 35. This one looks a little bit better. I'm a little taken back because I'm used to Poison Ivy trying to freaking hem up freaking Harley. But it looks like she got some other girl freaking she's trying to hem up, trying to put her in the flowers. This one right here. This one is cover D. This one is a 1 in 25, a Che Ruby cardstock variant. This one looks good, and it kind of reminds me. So I'll take you back to this crazy show I used to watch back in the day, and it used to be on HBO. And it would just tell like rare anthology horror stories, right? And in this one horror anthology story, there was this farmer, and a comet freaking comes down and fucking hits right on his farm in the middle of the night. He picks up the fucking rock, and instead of calling the police or the cops, he decides to try and open up this comet himself. He opens it up and he starts touching it, right? And when he touches it, just like all this little green thing that's on his fucking finger. And then through the whole rest of the day, the fucking green stuff is like growing along his whole freaking hand and freaking growing all over until freaking covers some up. That little finger pointing at me. That's what it reminds me of. There it even says, yes, that's a great one. He says, I want you for my rose garden. That's a Jessica Fong, by the way. Man, Jessica Fong has been doing some good art. I just don't know what we need from her to have her do. Because she's been turning in some good work. I think maybe what's been happening is that when she puts in her stuff, other artists have been putting their good stuff in, so her stuff just kind of gets lost in the mix. I think she needs to have just that one good week where it's just her by herself, and then she freaking turns in some good work. All right, staying on Poison Ivy issue number 35. This one is a cover E, 150 by Edgecurry Virgin Cardstock. And this one is interesting because I forget who it was. Derek, was it Derek or somebody was talking about? No, it was Mojo. Mojo talking about Poison Thicky, and this one she's kind of thick down there, but in the face, not thick at all. Like looking good. Chad Cave says, "I want you for my bush." Yep, I want you for the bush, and it's kind of weird with that because this what is it? What do they call it? Venus fly traps or something like that. But usually the Venus fly trap is like this, but instead it's like this, like a you know what, inviting you to come in. So I'll let you guys figure out what I'm trying to get at. Looks like a picture of a figure. Damn. Moving on. Red Sonja versus the Army of Darkness, issue number 4, the Bjorn Barons. And then this one is quite scary. I like this. This one is cover C by Tom Rainey. And of course, there's like 50 other variants of this cover. This one is quite weird with Resurrections, Quantum Karma. This one is by Steve Beach, issue number 5. He says, some people, they just wake up with bad dreams, and whereas my ass would just try to forget it. Someone's like, no, let me go ahead and put this shit on fucking on picture and then publish it, send it out. Make everybody have the same fucking nightmare that I'm having. All right, Steve Beach. All right, Return to Skull Island, issue number 2. This one is a Diego Yapor. Rick and Morty versus the Universe, issue number 1. This one is a one-shot, cover A by Dave Bardeen. Romanus Machikai, issue number 1. Ezra Gilmore. And then this one is the black, white, and red variant. Spawn, Black Ritual, the Book of NYX, number 4. This one is cover B by Brett Booth. And then Toxic Avengers Comics, issue number 2. This one is a 1-5. This one is a photo unlockable. Terrifying. And then I still can't believe this title is still going on. World Tree, issue number 16, cover C. 1-10, Chloe Brailsford. I don't know what's going on here, but I like it. Am I going to buy 10 covers of this or of something in order to get this? Probably not. Especially when we haven't heard whether whether this cover is going anywhere. All right, I think that's last of the ugly. Let's find some of the good ones. So what's going on, guys? Have you guys seen the movie yet? And if you have, what did you guys think so far? Let's see. All right. Starting with some of the actual good ones. Buck Naked on the freaking World Tree cover, issue number 16. Looks like a counting of a David Mack cover. And then this one looks like one of those negative variant covers. Flynn, Mega Man Zero, issue number 1 by Oni. More Orla, issue number 1, Matt Cave. Looks like it's telling us that it's about a boy, a girl, and her hungry monster. Tales of the Shadow Man. Valiant still sticking around. Another Daredevil cover. Mojo Quid says it was the most fun Superman movie since seeing Reeve as a kid, and he loved Cav on all, but this one was just fun. I think I agree with you, man. Here's what was most interesting, right? So in the Shazam movie, right? They had the Hawkman, and the suit just wasn't right. It just was off. And they understood the assignment. They had understood, hey, we can't just keep throwing the big three. Let's get some of these small characters in here and just do some stuff. In the Shazam movie, that last Shazam movie, that was it Shazam? I wasn't Shazam. Black Adam. It was the Black Adam movie. They absolutely freaking failed. This one, They said, okay, let's throw some of these smaller characters in here, but let's actually make them look good. And if they look bad, let's make sure that the personality matches, the way they freaking look. Hawk Girl suit, not absolutely freaking refined, but good enough. Mr. Terrific, I have been absolutely balling on it. Just saying, oh my god, from all the photos, he looks absolutely freaking terrible. But movie magic, they went really close on him, right? Instead of making him look like a toothpick, because the actual actor is a toothpick, they went really close on him, and it made him actually look good, right? They made sure those close-ups were really freaking great, right? And they only did the close-ups when he when he wanted to portray his awkwardness. Freaking good stuff. People talk about how unnerving the Hawk Girl screeching is supposed to be. She literally only did it when she was attacking to unnerve her targets. Yeah, yeah. People, what did people want her to go? I like an anime girl. What the fuck? Like I don't. Yeah, that's what hawks do. That's what hawks do when they do a little swoop. And the freaking animal will freeze, right? Because they know there's a sound, but they don't know where the sound is coming from. So they freeze. And they'll take that one time. They'll take that 1 second to freaking look up. And that one look, that little second look up, is all that freaking hawk needs. And you're freaking done. Hawks and eagles. So people, I really don't think people think when they write stuff or say stuff. Like, okay, um, yep, meet Spider-Man from the Ultimate Spider-Verse. This is your X-Men 135. Let's see, let me just make sure I'm doing the right one. Another X-Men Jeffrey Brown. This one is going to be the Spider-Man the Slivet Anderson. This one is going to be a second print, 1 to 25, if I'm not mistaken. Here's your Magic. Fantastic Four, Scotty Young. Hello, can you hear me now? Here we go. Chad K is saying giving out knowledge to lip readers only. Sorry about that. I don't know why my headphones turn off like that. Cheap ass $300 freaking headphones. Fuck. Um, Spider-Man and Wolverine, Stonehouse variant. The Mortal Thor, issue number 1, Alex Ross. Green Lantern, Absolute Green Lantern, issue number 5. This one is a 150 by Juliet Ineka. Then back to Absolute Superman number 10. This one is a Gerald Perel. Chat Cave says that he has $60 earbuds that are magical. Yeah, man. I mean, usually you usually only have to make sure that they are very comfortable. That's it, right? Unless you're doing as much podcasting as I am, and you need, for me, because I need to worry about the battery, I need to worry about like how much stuff I can connect to, right? Like I gotta make sure it connects to my laptop and then um, my studio equipment and then my projector and then all this other stuff. And then also sometimes when I'm doing these 5-hour podcasts and I need to go to the bathroom, right? And I take that break and I want to be able to still be able to engage. I just take my headphones up with me and I'm still listening as I'm going through the rest of the house and doing whatever. Derek Neiman says, what if the artist's name was Par-El? Por-El. Par-El or Por-El? Por-El is would be interesting. Por-El in Latin would be for him. Chat Caves as Trade Labs. Batgirl issue number 10. It reminds me of something. I'm just not sure which cover it's a homage to. But Batgirl number 10, David Talaski. God damn it! You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of I think it was a Cho Black Panther cover that this reminds me of. I think that's what it is. Hey, shout out to Mr. I Tried. What's going on? Batman number 1, there's a blind as a bat blind bag variant. Not quite sure what's supposed to be in there yet. Entanglement, one shot by AWA. Once again, you got to keep an eye out on these because AWA has claimed that they are putting together a TV series and movies. So we haven't seen anything yet. I'm keeping an eye on these to read. First Americans, issue number 3. This one is by Tad Galusha. Fortress number 1. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, number 319. This one is an Andy Kubert. And then there's your 1 in 10, a negative variant with Francis Portela. Back to the Never Wars. Once again, this was the one that I was telling you guys about. It was the Wizard of Oz versus the Peter Pan universe. Radiant Black, issue number 36. That's the first appearance of the new Radiant Yellow. Sisterhood and Hyde Street story number 2. I have been loving these Hyde Streets stories. This one has been on FOC for a while, right? In between the mess with Diamond and everything, to keep putting it back and soliciting it, but they should just let it go and just let that be it. Thundercats number 7. This one is the cover G by Lucia Perillo, and this one's going to be a foil. Vampirella number 2. Virgin Metal. Chad Cave says that he bets that Tenement, that Never Wars number, what was that? Never Wars Yeah, Never Wars issue number 3. That one's by Craig Kavax. Vaporilla issue number 4. Lucia Perillo. And this one is a Greg Land tentacle cover of the week. Chad Cave says it's the Red Hood theory. And it looks like that is the last of the stuff that's just kind of good. So let me see. And then here are the top of, I think it was just 15. I think that was kind of like really kind of worth it. Let's see. Where we at? All right. And Chad Cave, I'm not sure what the Red Hood theory is. Is it from the guy Red Hood that's on with Brian and those guys, or is it like the freaky cult Red Hood theory? Tell me which one you meant. All right, coming into the home stretch, folks. All new Venom. This one's J. Scott Campbell, but this is not the name of the cover, not the name of the book. I forget what the name of the book is, but it is part of the Just Spectacular collection, and it is on FOC this week. It says Red Hood from Beyond Wednesdays. Ultimates issue number 15. Lee and Hook. Magic. J. Scott Campbell. Yeah, Derek Nino says so many covers. He must be trying to get a new house, or he must be trying to get one of those new Teslas. I don't know what's going on. But he's trying to save up for something. The only problem is that some of these covers just look some of his old stuff. Rose Besh coming out with a Fantastic Four cover. A Marvel Rivals cover for Fantastic Four. Looks great. Maybe it's a wraparound, or it might be a connecting cover. That's what I'm thinking. Another great freaking giant Magic cover, but this one is Giant Size X-Men issue number 2. Mr. Triad says apparently the J. Scott Campbell, his Rogue was set went up today. The 25th anniversary is sold out along with the wraparound. Yep, and that Rose Base, she's been putting in that work. An interesting Mortal Thor cover. Interesting, right? It kind of reminds me of that. What was it? It was that Amazing Spider-Man cover, issue number 15, where it was just like a black cover, and then it was like a white web type deal. This is kind of what it reminds me of. This might do well. Yep, the Gleason. Yep. Batgirl issue number 10, cover B, Tran and Gwen cardstock. Beautiful effing cover, man. Just beautiful. Yep. That Thor. Let's see. And Birds of Prey issue number 24. This one is the Annie Wu. Not bad at all. It's kind of going against the grain over some of her other covers, but I definitely like it. Yep, Thor made of lightning and it's foil. Yep. Woo. Yeah, I'll give you time to look at this one. It's a Birds of Prey issue number 24, cover C, Kaiyu Young Aom cardstock. That's it. No variant on this one or nothing. Jack Cave says he's spending so much money lately, he needs to start selling. Absolutely, man. Freaking, it's rough, right? Right. It's rough. No, so what I would say is sometimes what you got to do is as soon as you see it on FOC or as soon as that previews book comes out, which is like a month even before FOC, that's when you put it on freaking your eBay. That's the best thing I can tell you. Put it on eBay before like 40 days out, actually. Just be careful. Because after, if you do it before 40 days, they end up buying it, and can't get it to them, you might be fucked. But 40 days out before it's actually supposed to come out, put it on eBay, and then if you buy it, then you're good. Um, Cheetah and the Cheshire Rob, the Justice League, number one. This one is a Leslie Laree. Leslie Larixie Lee, excuse me. And then this one is a Gerald Pearl foil. Yep. It's DC's heating up. Absolutely. Right. I think and that's well see that's where we're gonna have to pay attention, right? Is because me and Ninth, we've been telling people like, hey, DC just needs that one effing movie where it shows that they got their stuff together. And then stuff is gonna blow up. Right? All of a sudden people are going to be looking in the crooks, nooks and the crannies, trying to speculate about DC. The question is, was this Superman movie it? I think it's good enough, right? James Gunn has got the history, right? He's he's got the pedigree. He knows how to freaking do this thing. I would say then absolutely. And instead of going for like the big 4 or 5 that everybody knows, let's start looking at some of these smaller characters, right? Follow the James Gunn formula. He's actually I already put out a whole bunch of stuff on his X of the stuff that he's looking at, right? Pre-sellers are killing the flip game. I don't. And Derek Newman says I don't even have my books in hand yet, and people are already pre-selling 9/8 for like $50. So here's where it's going to get interesting. Um, with Diamond going down, and we got to see what's going to happen with these guys, right? Because I know for a fact that they were monitoring a lot of stuff, or maybe it was just people in the warehouse. They were monitoring a lot of stuff, and if they felt the software stuff was going to get hot, they would hold stuff back. They would hold stuff back to make sure that they had enough stuff on hand, or maybe that they were selling to the place. I don't know what it is, but some stuff was going missing, and stuff was going like short even before the stuff even freaking came out. When they still had a chance to go and get it printed. But now that it's been spun out of those people's hands, and I think they're trying to turn it over to Ad Populum right now, it's going to be interesting, even more interesting, because now there's not that big database, right? And then there's also, don't forget that Midtown had their own publishing, or not their publishing, distributor, right? So distributors would sell it to Marvel, or excuse me, would sell it to Diamond. Diamond would then turn around and sell it to, I think it was called UCC or no UCS, right? And like all the crazy ass freaking incentives, and you were asking like, who's buying all these incentives? It was Midtown, but they were buying it to distribute to somebody else. for cheaper, right? Straight to, they didn't have to buy 1/100s and 1/200s. They would just boom, here UCS, and then UCS would just sell 1/200s to retailers that, for a cheaper price. I got kicked out of that group. I got kicked out of that group, right? With telling people about this, I think, as well as the card companies. They hated the shit I was saying. But yeah, let's see. Moving on to Wonderful Thor, back to number 10, Birds of Prey, Cheetah, and then Fantastic Four. There's that Fantastic Four, J. Scott Campbell for this week, or that's going to be on FOC this week. Yeah, we already talked about this. The Godzilla vs. Kong, Ricardo Federici. And Thundercats number 17, a Mark Spears Red Original FOC bonus variant. And I believe that's it. That's all I have for FOC this week, guys. In fact, I think I'm going to end it here. We've already done an hour. If you guys want to come on and do another show later on tonight, I'll let you guys know, and we'll freaking hop on and we'll get on and bullshit. Maybe we'll have to try and do it after the top 10 or whoever's doing whatever. But for right now, I'm happy to just get on. Freaking thank you guys. You guys came in and freaking did the thing, kept me in it with the freaking chat. Absolutely freaking fantastic chat. But yeah, freaking good stuff. Once again, if you guys need any of the coverage that you saw this week, just freaking hit me up and I'll do my best to freaking get you the good price. And then we'll, or don't forget, my Instagram is Chetland's Greens of Cornbread. You can freaking hit me up there. Also, don't forget Comic Crusaders. We got the Facebook, Instagram. Freaking hit us up on there, and we'll just freaking keep it popping, man. And if I missed anything that you think I should let people know about, freaking absolutely freaking let me know, and we'll keep the folks informed. But other than that, love you guys. Freaking stay safe and keep it popping.
Sometimes men take matters into their own hands. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
As you guys know, it is Drunken Chat, son.